When it comes to extinction, hiding away in rat holes are needed for survival, so we proudly present top 3 rat holes with full base designs on extinction. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code Outcasts and you will get 25% off your entire order. If you're looking for a great alternative to coffee or just a way to get you going in the morning, Mitra is definitely the way to go. Now, back to the video. Coming in number 3, this can be found at 28.6 latitude and 32.9 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now these 3 are the best rat holes that I pretty much could find on extinction, so I went ahead and just picked my top 3. This is the first one. So, kind of showed you the outskirts of the area, but it can be found in the Wasteland, and then this is your entrance. It is a tiny little crouch entrance, and you can barely even fit through that. It opens up into this pretty decently sized room. Yes, it could be bigger. Yes, it's a little bit complicated to work with. However, it still is a phenomenal rat hole just because of that entrance alone. Now, I don't know how we're going to fit an indie forge and a replicator in here, but if you're seeing this video, that means that I was able to fit one in there. So, it's definitely going to be pretty tricky. So yeah, anyways, you got this first room, but what makes this rat hole super overpowered is the back room, which I do not unfortunately show in here because I really didn't even see it. So you will see it on the full base design. Now here is the full base design. So to keep this thing nice and hidden, I wanted to make sure that there were no turrets on the exterior side of it to keep it just as hidden as possible. So on the inside, as you can see, there's an absolute insane amount of just tech turrets and heavy turrets, meaning it's going to be an absolute pain to raid this thing, and in my honest opinion, pretty much unraidable. I mean, I'm sorry, but I see no possible way to even try to attempt to even get a dino in here in the first place because of the ceilings. I mean, it's going to be a pretty difficult raid. So yeah, upon entering into the space, you have a nice little layer of, it is 4 little vault walls, just kind of used as storage, or you can use it as a little bit of the defense for your main wall. Completely up to you. Your replicator does fit, but it's poking through the second floor. Now up here you have your cooker and your grill, and then all of your refrigerators over here on the left side. And you have this new little thingy, it's like a chem bench, but super fancy. Anyways, get your teleporter, and then a hidden wall right here, which goes back into your little main area. Now this is where you're going to store your really important loot, your good players, and then your just really good cryos. Now having a false wall right there is going to trick a lot of people into just thinking, oh, that's just the end of their base, and then hopefully they just, think it is. Anyways, coming down here, we have some stairs that lead down onto your second layer. You have about 5 fabricators right here, 2 indie forges, a tech transmitter, a replicator, some more cryo forges to kind of, just to kind of show that those are your actual ones so that they don't go looking for them. Then you have a indie grinder right under there. There is also 2 beds, as well as some egg incubators right there as well. Now you do have some smithies built onto your indie forges, and then just some chem benches and some vaults. But yeah, that's it for the full base design. Let's move on to number 2. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 51.0 latitude and 46.9 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found in the city, and this is a pretty well-known rat hole. It was on ASC, and it's also here on ASA. Now a lot of you guys do know this rat hole. It's just a super popular one, so that is one downside of it on this list, is that it's very, very well known, meaning people are going to constantly try to raid you. So if you're looking for a nice little PvP rat hole, would highly recommend this. Now the defense on here is a little bit tricky, but I went ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and build on the exterior. That's really the only way to defend this thing. I mean, you can fit a couple turrets in here, but it's still going to be a pain to even raid. But yeah, the only way really in is with a snow owl, and even then, I mean, a snow owl is going to get killed almost instantly with the turrets. Up here you do have a nice little area. I don't really know what to do with it, so I'm just most likely just going to leave that blank. Now coming down here is your main base area. So I'm not sure what to do with this exactly yet, because again, it's going to be tricky to fit some stuff in here. I'm going to have to utilize this section though, which is the section that I kind of hate. Now on ASC, you did have a lot more room in here, so unfortunately it did get kind of nerfed on here, which does make it a little bit harder to build. However, there's more flat area down here, so I don't know exactly what we're going to do. It's going to be a very, very difficult build, so I'm going to try to squeeze as much as I possibly can. Now here is the full base design. So I went ahead and used a cliff platform on the outside, and this has a chandelier tower. Now the chandelier tower is more overpowered than like a turret wall because there's no weak spots on it, meaning the only way to take this thing down is with that cliff platform. And the cliff platforms are honestly pretty overpowered, so you shouldn't really have to worry about that falling. Now however, if that does fall, you do have a backup, which is just absolutely just spam turrets everywhere. The spam turrets are just overpowered because you have to individually take out each and every single one of them, and oh my god, it is an absolute pain to deal with. So yeah, there's about 30 spam turrets in here just in case your cliff plat does fall. And then up here, added a little area maybe to raise some dinos. I don't really know. It's hard to tell what to do with that little area, but I highly recommend using a tech Jenny up there as just a backup for those turrets that are on the wall. Now down here is another little dino storage area, or just, it's up to you, but you do have a tech transmitter here as well, just kind of transfer in and out, do your little boss fights if you're on S+, and then down here is your main base. I'm impressed how I was able to fit everything in here, but it is a little bit, I'll just say it's kind of a mess. So you instantly, upon entering here, you have your fabricators, your chem benches, your smithies, 4 vaults, your replicator, and your 2 indie forges. Now this is built on a layer slightly below so that they fit and that they're not sticking out, because it's kind of a pain, so you have to build it like that. Anyways, you have a nice little vault right here, and that is 2 vaults high. And then over here you do have your beds and then your tech Jenny. Now the tech Jenny right there does power your chandelier, because the chandelier is right above this. Over here you have your cryo fridges, your refrigerators, nice little egg incubator area. And yeah, I would highly recommend moving that. It's kind of a pain just to get the dinos out. But yeah, that's it for this. Let's move on to number 1. Coming in number 1, this can be found at 17.1 latitude and 14.6 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found directly in the entrance to the sunken forest. Here is the broken orb, so as you can see, that's where it is next to here. It's basically that platform that you use to kind of just like walk your dinos down. But yeah, here's your little entrance. Nice little triangle entrance. It's very tiny. It's really in an awkward spot, so raiding it's going to be an absolute pain. Now upon entering in here, the ceiling does slant down, which is a bit of a downside with this spot, and does make this spot decently weak because you don't have as much room. However, you still have a pretty insane amount of room. I mean, honestly, this is big enough to fit a pretty good sized tribe. I would say easily a 10-man tribe can fit in here comfortably too. And then you do have this back room in the back. Not sure what we're going to do with that, maybe just like a little log out area or something. Not 100% sure. But yeah, lots of room to work with, so this one should be pretty good. Let's get on to the full base design. Now here is the full base design. So as you can see, I used a chandelier on top, which basically just protects that entrance. Now the chandelier is insanely overpowered and it's going to be an absolute pain to raid. So I'll just tell you that now. You definitely want to have a chandelier on this entrance. Now you do have a force field there that is completely optional, but I feel like a force field would make it even more overpowered. Now, upon entering, you do have a lot of just randomly placed turrets. Those turrets are just in case that chandelier does drop, that you do have some backup turrets to kind of keep people out. Now in here, this is a bit controversial, but I just went ahead and spam turrets on the ground because of how the environment is. It's kind of slanted. You can't really build on the wall, but I still put the wall just in case you really, you just want to have it. Now here's your main base. You do have a replicator, grinder, your refrigerator area, all of the new items. I always just forget their names. And then you have a nice little hatchery. Now this hatchery is decently sized, so that's completely up to you. You have your cooker, your grill, a nice little vault wall. There's your tech Jenny there as well. And then you got 3 indie forges. You do have some Deddy storages as well right next to them, just to kind of store some of the main loot, as well as a full crafting station with, fabricators, chem benches, all that kind of good stuff. Now moving into the back layer, you have a nice little area. I didn't really know what to do with it. Totally up to you. And then down here is your nice little vault storage area, as well as a nice little log out room with some cryo fridges, and then there's even more vaults around the corner. Now if you thought that it was done, it's not. There's another room back here, and I would just recommend using this to kind of just store your dinos, but it's totally up to you for what you want to do. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new and hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.